Hey, I'm Mark Walters of bigfanboy.com, and I'm sitting here with the great Mike Judge, and we're talking about the movie Extract. And I love this film. I always love your films. Your films seem to get the common man. And I guess my question right off the bat is, how much of your films draw from personal experiences, and how much of them are, kind of fictionalizing and coming up with it off the top of your head?
There's a lot of ripping off reality, I think. I actually quite a bit is drawn from personal experience. I mean, I feel like I do have a pretty good imagination for making up dialogue and things. Sometimes I'll make up a character and then realize later, like long after, that oh, maybe that was inspired by something I've forgotten about. So.
I'm assuming you've had some annoying neighbors at some point in time.
Oh yeah.
David Koechner absolutely steals this film. I mean, he's just so great.
Man. I was so happy when he came in, and he's read for, I think, every movie I've done, TV thing, and I like the guy so much. I've never found the right thing for him, and when he came in for this, I was like, I didn't think because he's usually kind of a cowboy redneck type. And I was like, oh man, I don't want to turn down Koechner again. And then he came in and he just nailed it. I mean, it was just exactly how I imagined it. And what's interesting to me is, to me, he's been in so many movies, he's recognizable. I've had people watch this and not recognize him, and all I did was put glasses on him.
Right.
So I think his acting is just, he just did it with the acting. And I love watching him in this movie.
It's a great ensemble cast. In the film, Jason Bateman plays the owner of an extract factory, and it kind of deals with a lot of different aspects of both him owning the place, the workers in the place, and their thoughts towards working with one another. Did you spend any time, I mean, this is an interesting setting for a movie. Did you spend any time in places like this to kind of get a feel for it?
Yeah, I actually worked in a factory that made bass amps and guitar amps for a while. I actually didn't last too long there, but and I worked in another smaller factory setting. And yeah, I feel like maybe it's sort of a blue collar thing. It has its own set of characters that are unique to it, the way the cubicles do, and so yeah. And then also, characters can kind of come from anywhere. But I did want to make this about that, kind of like Office Space was very specific about people in cubicles. This is specific about factory kind of manufacturing.
Well, and as Office Space sort of pulls the curtain back on the office environment, this sort of pulls the curtain back on the factory environment. So what would be sort of if you had kind of like, what would be your next step in the progression of trying to pull back the curtain on reality?
I've thought about that, and I don't know. There's got to be something. I haven't thought about it a lot, but I remember thinking, at one point, and I may have written it down, I did have another workplace thing I was thinking about, and I think it was kind of like a Walmart type thing, but I kind of feel like that's sort of been done a little bit, but I don't know. I probably won't do anything like that anytime soon. I actually think stuff like that works well for TV too, I think, maybe. So, could have another bottling factory TV show. It's been a while.
Well, I really enjoyed Extract. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and it kind of has an almost independent film feel to it. Do you like making kind of smaller films instead of, I mean, I'm sure Hollywood has thrown big budgets at you, but do you prefer to make kind of smaller, family-knit films in terms of, working on it in a smaller way?
I think I do, although I haven't tried a big budget. It's I actually did get lots of offers after Office Space to direct some pretty big budget movies. I kept turning them down, so they stopped offering them. But it's I wouldn't mind. I actually love special effects, a little bit of it that I've done. I would love to play in that world a little more, and I think I might be able to bring something slightly unique to that. But I don't know exactly what that would be yet, but.
Well, I know we got to wrap it up. I know you had mentioned before maybe there's a possibility of doing something more with Beavis and Butthead. Is there anything that you've got in mind right now?
Well, not specifically. I mean, There was kind of some heat generated on, doing another movie. It comes up like every 3 years or so, or maybe it's longer. I remember around 2002, 2003, we had a couple treatments that I was working on, but I don't know. It takes so long to do. I think now once the dust settles on this, I might, kind of go back and see if there's a reason to make it. I miss Beavis and Butthead. I miss. There's times when I'm just watching something, or I come up with an idea and go, "Oh, it's too bad I'm not doing Beavis and Butthead. That would be fun to do." But
Yeah, Mike, anything you do, I'll watch it. Thanks, buddy.
all right,
Appreciate it.
thanks.